and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be doing a lot of voiceovers. I'm not going to be showing my face, at least for not for this portion of the video. But today we're going to be reorganizing this bookshelf book collection because it is ugly and boring, and I am getting so many more books recently that I need to optimize my organizational skills. So thank you for clicking on this video. Hopefully you enjoy some non-bookish content, and let's get right into it. So to start off, I really just organized it by height and by like sort of genre. So these first two shelves are just standalone, which I guess isn't a genre. And some of them aren't even standalones. They're like part of a series, but it's just by height. Gosh, sort of. I really messed up there, huh? Standalone books. All the way down to here. Wow, yeah, see, I was not true to it. And then I have that random Vulpix stuffy. And that's kind of it. Nothing fun or exciting. And then next up is books I hadn't read yet, also by height, that were standalone, fiction, fantasy, sci-fi, whatever, like anything, totally unorganized. It's supposed to be by height, but like not by height. The next shelf up on the top here is I'm going to the side. Oh, okay. Wow, filmed that awkwardly. But this is supposed to be like classics, modern classics, soon to be classics, and that's kind of it. And then my library books in the corner. And then this is just like supposed to be social studies, nonfiction. Oh, and then I also hang my bookmarks by tacks in the bookshelf, which I don't like because it splits the wood and it makes holes, so it's a little ugly. And I also can't like access all of them if they're all squished up like that. So yeah, that's like supposed to be social studies, nonfiction. I guess like some autobiographies in there, and then this is also like a continuation of that. Just so unorganized. It's again by height, which does not serve me anymore as an aesthetic. So we're changing that, y'all. We're changing that. And then this is like poetry, short stories, and then I have one manga and one graphic novel shoved there in the corner. So yeah, that's that shelf. I went through a huge poetry phase, but I don't really read it as much anymore. And then down here we have my like nature witchy books. You can see like crystals and astrology and the magical year and that kind of stuff. I don't have a ton of these kinds of books and I don't really read them often, but I like to reference them sometimes. And then up top we have some series and then like random pictures and Polaroids and knicky-knacky stuff. And then a continuation of more series, not organized by genre. I don't even think it's organized by height. It's literally just as many series as I can fit on a shelf. Like, look how it just doesn't look good, and I have them stacked. I don't mind stacking them if it looks good or if they like are connected in some way. Yeah, and see just more series. My huge Percy Jackson series chunk. So yeah, and then I think the bottom shelf is also just like more series. Yeah, so that's the bottom, or maybe the second to the bottom shelf. I don't remember. It's all new now, y'all. It's all new. It's getting revamped. It's gonna be gorgeous. It's gonna be gorgeous. But yeah, it's literally just series. Okay, round one. So we've got just like fiction stuff. Plain old fiction, no fantasy, no sci-fi. I kind of had on the left like spookier stuff and on the right regular stuff, and then underneath that I have on the left side, so this whole shelf is fantasy, but the left side separated where my finger is like witchy fantasy, and then the right side is non-witchy fantasy. This is just round two, y'all. It gets better. I pinky promise. So there's that shelf, just fantasy. Oh, my hand. Okay. My hand, oh. Yep, see, I'm pointing. Oh yeah, ninth house. The second book is coming soon, so that will move. And then we have romance, but some of these are really forced. That's why I ended up changing the shelf a lot, because a lot of these, like, altered should not be there. I don't know. If You Find Me should not be there. But I have the romance series and then romance standalones. And under that is the two shelves of my unread books. These are all of the books that are fiction, regardless of genre, that I have not read. So there's that shelf there, and then that shelf there. That's it. I think that ends up staying that way, because I like to know what books I haven't read, you know, in case I forget. And then, so this is still like classics, modern classics, soon to be classics, and then my library books on the right. I know this will change again in round 2, so don't sweat. So the stack is autobiography, biography, memoirs, that kind of stuff. And then to the right is like social studies and social theory stuff. A lot of it is feminist topics because, you know, I studied gender in college. But that is that. Even though those two genres I feel like should not be on the same shelf, that's how I did that. And then here we have like history analysis, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of it. And then on the bottom, we have, oh, it's not the bottom, second to bottom shelf. On the left is poetry, middle is short story, and the right is like my witchy nature book stuff. And then empty shelf. Nothing there to see, which will change. And then my rightmost bookshelf, so we have, I think I tried to do like darker fantasy on this shelf. It just doesn't look right though. And then like lighter fantasy on this shelf, which doesn't really make sense because the Unbecoming of Mara is pretty dark, but whatevs. And then I didn't have anywhere for my bookmarks yet, so they're just piled there. And then, and then this is like mythology, series and standalones. I thought that was kind of neat to have all my mythology, like ancient society story stuff. And then dystopian, oh my god, ew, look how ugly that looks. It gets better, I promise. But this is dystopian, both standalone stories, so Handmaid's Tale is over there in the corner, and series. And then bottom shelf is my angel series, my angel fantasy. Because your girl loved her angel fantasy when she was growing up, and tell you what. And then I didn't know where to put those two. My manga, graphic novel, because they're my only two. So they're homeless. Right now. All right, here we go. Sorry for the darkness, but we moved the witchy fantasy solo books and the non-witchy fantasy solo books up to the top shelf. Got a little flower separating it. And then I did darker fiction all in its own chunk. So we got some mystery in there, we got some horror, and just some like darker fiction stuff. And I threw Tomi there too, because that's a dark fiction book technically, even though it's manga, so whatevs. Oh my god, my finger. Get that out of here. Anyway, yeah. There we go. There it is. Then we have like regular fiction series and standalone. So like My Brilliant Friends there on the left. And then some like regular flavor fiction on the right. And I think that looks really nice with the face outs. And then we have romance, and I was able to finagle it to look a little better. And there's like a jewelry box. It says Lu Yu P. I don't know what that means, but it probably means something. but the box is pretty, so it's on the romance shelf. And then we have classics, modern classics, soon to be classics, just iconic books. And I threw Edgar Allan Poe because technically that is a collection of tales and poems. And I like how it looks next to the Jane Austen collections. So some of those I have read and some of those I have not. I remember which ones though. All right. And then we have social studies, social theory. Lots of feminist stuff there. Pretty box there. And then on the left we have history, and on the right we have autobiographies. Again, I didn't have any more for my bookmarks, so they're still chilling flat. But the two genres are separated by a little pride pin. Yep, there it is. All blurry and stuff. Yup. Good stuff. Okay, and then we have on a pile on the left my poetry, oversized nature books stacked upright, and then again a pile of witchy and then short stories collections, and then the two shelves of unread books. So those still live on. And then I just kind of turned these top shoe shelves on this right bookshelf into just fantasy series instead of trying to separate them. I just kind of had it so like everything fit and looked nice. I think it looks much better this way. This is still mythology, but I made it look a little nicer. That's still dystopian, but again, I made it look nicer. And then you don't need to see that, my angel obsession from my childhood. Oh my god, I was so frustrated. These vines were sticking together like glue, and they kind of smelled funny. And there we have it, folks, with the lights all on. The lamp is off. I think it looks really nice. I have a little jar to put my bookshelf. Oh my God, those books. Sit upright, like, what are you doing? But I got a little jar for my bookmarks, so now I can reach them all, and it still separates those two genres, which was important to me. But yeah, everything else is the same, I think, with the new decor. Pretty, pretty. My witch hat that I got in Salem a few years ago on Halloween. Oh my God, what a day. But yeah, I think it looks so nice. So aesthetic. Finally, not just organized by height. Yes, here it is with the light on, so you can see the vines a little better. Yeah, I have them like draped. I finished this at night, that's why the lighting's kind of bad, but there'll be a good picture coming up, don't you worry, guys. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I know it's a little different than usual, probably a little chaotic, but I wanted to redo my shelves and show you guys. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.